Good morning, children. Welcome back. In the previous video, we have seen about the what is sound, how it is traveled, and how it is propagated. Correct? We'll revise some points. That is how the sound is propagated. The sound travels through all the states of matter. That is solid, liquid, and gases. Correct? And the main important point, that is sound does not travel in vacuum. Okay, so just mark the point here, that is sound does not travel in vacuum. Here the examples we have seen, that was of the solid, liquid, and gases. Okay, so next we are going to see is the speed of a sound. Okay, so speed of a sound depends on two factors, that is first is elasticity and second is the density of the medium through which it propagates. So elasticity means what? The ability of an object or material to resume its normal shape after being stretched or compressed. So elasticity means just if take an example of rubber band. Okay, if you stretch the rubber band, what will happen after few minutes when you release it? It will again gain its original shape. So this is known as elasticity. And density means what? That how much dense the medium is given to you. Okay, so density of medium through which it propagates. Now, in case of air, it also depends upon the temperature of air. Means what? If the temperature is high in the air, the density is low. If there is cold temperature, that is if there are more water vapors in the air, then the density is more, so we can get lower voice. We'll see this later, but just remember the speed of a sound through air is about 330 meter per second. The speed of a sound through water is about 1500 meter per second. And the speed of a sound, you just remember this sequence. Okay, you have the speed of a sound more in solid, after that little lesser in liquid, and the least in gases. Okay, for the fill in the blanks or MCQs, you have to remember this. The speed of a sound in gases is least and the more is in solid. Okay, you can see the relationship over here, that is speed is equal to wavelength into frequency. You have studied this terms in the previous standards, what is wavelength and frequency. Okay, you have to just remember the formula over here, speed is equal to wavelength into frequency. Okay, so the wavelength is denoted by lambda and frequency is denoted by the Greek letter nu. Okay, okay, so here you can see the examples, that is speed of a sound in different medium at room temperature. It is the states are given solid, liquid, and gases. Okay, substances are given, that is aluminium, steel, iron, brass, glass, water, then distilled water. Okay, so then there is ethanol, methanol, hydrogen, helium, air, oxygen, and sulfur dioxide. Okay, then the speeds are given in meter per second. Okay, now here comes the application part of the speed of light, that is when there is a thunder. Okay, the thunder and the lightning. Okay, there is thunder means the gadgadat. Correct, you hear the noise when there is lot of rains over here. Correct, so the thunder and lightning occurs at the same time. Okay, they occur together, but first what do we see? First we see the light and then after few seconds we hear the thunder. Correct, so how this happens? Just note this, the speed of a sound in air is about 330 meter per second and the speed of light in the air is about 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That is so low. Correct, that is the light, the speed of a light is very fast. It is the speed of light is faster than the speed of sound. So that is why the thundering sounds are always heard a little after seeing the flash of lightning. Okay, this is the give reason. You have to remember what is the speed of sound and what is the speed of light for this answer. Okay, 330 meter per second is the speed of sound, and 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second is the speed of the light. And both lightning and thundering occurs together, but delay in hearing is due to this difference in the speeds of sound and light. Okay, so now you know that why we can see the lightning first and then we can hear the thunder after lightning. Now comes the concept of oscillations and vibrations. Okay, so what is vibration? Vibration is the to and fro or back and forth motion of an object. Okay, vibration is also called oscillatory motion. That is the to and fro. You can see the pendulum over there. Okay, simple pendulum. Okay, the O is the rest position and A and B are its points or the oscillatory points. The motion of pendulum from one extreme position, that is from A to the other extreme position to the B and back, is called an oscillation. That is A to B and back to the A. Okay, if consider if this is a oscillatory, this is oscillation. Okay, it is coming from A to O and B. Okay, this is oscillation. So frequency of sound wave. Now what is frequency? The number of oscillations per second is called frequency. It is represented by symbol, Greek letter, that is mu. The unit of frequency is hertz. Okay, so number of oscillations per second. In 1 second, how many oscillations are taking place is known as frequency. Okay. Next, the time period of sound wave. The time taken for one oscillation is called time period. It is represented by letter capital T. The SI unit is seconds. The frequency and time are represented as follows. That is, if you have to calculate the time period of sound waves, then what is the formula? T is equal to 1 upon nu. And if you have to calculate the frequency, then frequency for one oscillation is equal to nu is equal to 1 upon T. Okay, remember these two formulas. It will be helpful to calculate the frequency and time period. So next we can see is of amplitude of sound waves. The maximum displacement of an oscillating body from its central position is called its amplitude. Okay, see the figure over there. Okay, I'll just shift my camera. Okay, see the figure over here. Okay, the pendulum, if the pendulum is at rest, then it is at the O position. Okay, now we have to calculate the amplitude. The amplitude is a maximum displacement. So the length or the distance from O to A is its amplitude, or O to B is its amplitude. Okay, if we have to calculate the sound wave, then how we will calculate? We can see the wave over here. Okay, there are waves like this. Correct. If the waves are coming there, then the upper part, okay, the upper part is known as crest, and the lower part between the two crests is known as trough. Okay, so the length between two crests, is known as amplitude, that is wavelength. Okay, so maximum displacement of an oscillating body from its central position is called its amplitude, or the amplitude of a sound wave is the height of crest or trough. It is represented by the letter A, capital A, that is amplitude. Okay, take it down. So next one is the concept of loudness and pitch of sound. So loudness of a sound depends upon the amplitude of vibration. Okay, you have to remember loudness is depend upon amplitude and pitch of sound is depend upon frequency of vibration. Okay, loudness means what? Is the sound audible, that is वो जोर से बोल रहा है या धीरे से बोल रहा है, that is sound. Okay, loudness. And pitch of sound means what? He has a broad or shrillness in his sound. In Marathi we can say if someone has the sound which have vibrations in them, that is shrilling is more, or in Marathi we can say gogra avaz. Okay, so that is known as pitch of a sound. And if someone has a very sweet voice, that is flatness, then it is known as pitch of a sound. Okay, and this depends on the frequency of vibrations. So here you have to remember just these important points. And if amplitude is less, then the sound is feeble. Okay, you can remember it easily. If amplitude is less, sound is also less. If amplitude is more, the sound is also more. Okay, the unit is counted in decibel. Okay, just remember this unit of sound is decibel. Now the pitch of a sound. If the frequency is less, the sound has low pitch. Same again, if the frequency is less, sound is also has a low pitch. That is, examples are sound of a drum, sound of an adult, etc. And if the frequency is more, sound has a high pitch. Example, the sound of a whistle, sound of a baby. Okay. Next we have, that is, human ears. How we hear sound through our ears. Okay, how we can hear the sound? The sound enters. You can see the diagram over there, that is of human ear. Sound enters through the ear canal and it makes the eardrum to vibrate. Eardrum is what? The कानाचा पडदा. Correct? In Marathi you say the eardrum. Okay, it makes the eardrum to vibrate. Vibrate means what? The sound comes inside and hits over the eardrum. This sound, what happens? The eardrum vibrates. As this eardrum vibrates, the eardrum sends the vibrations to the inner ear, and this inner ear then goes converts these vibrations into the electrical signals which go to the brain, and then we hear the sound. Okay, we'll see the working of this human ear now. Okay, see the structure of human ear over there. Okay, there is a eardrum, and then there is a first we have the, okay, see here, this is the ear pinna. Okay, here is ear pinna, that is, here is the outer ear. Okay, we call it as pinna. Okay, so sound is collected in this ear pinna. Then the sound passes through ear canal to thin membrane called eardrum. Okay, you can see the ear canal over there. There is a passage from pinna to the eardrum. Okay, so eardrum, when the sound reaches over the eardrum starts vibrating, and these vibrations are then amplified by the 3 bones in the middle ear. Okay, there are only 3 bones, that is hammer, anvil and stirrup. Okay, there is a mixture over this bones, that is hammer, anvil and stirrup. Okay, so what happens? This eardrum starts vibrating these bones. Okay, these bones also starts vibrating over. As these vibrate, there is a cochlea fitted in the inner ear. Okay, this is the middle ear. Middle ear has the bones. Okay, outer ear there is a pinna. Middle ear there are 3 bones: hammer, anvil and stirrup. And then there is an inner ear, it is called cochlea. Okay, so the cochlea, what it does in the inner ear, The sound waves are converted into electrical signals by the cochlea and sent to the brain through auditory nerves. Okay, and then the brain interprets the signals as a sound, and then we can hear it. Okay, I'll revise you again the structure and working of human ear. Okay, just remember this diagram. You can remember the structure also, and you can remember the process of hearing also. Okay, just concentrate on the picture over there. Outside there is the human ear is divided into three parts. Okay, the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. Okay, the outer ear is known as pinna. The middle ear has the three bones in it. Okay, the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. And the inner ear has a cochlea. Okay, and the cochlea has the auditory nerves joined to it. Okay, this is the structure of human ear to remember. Now we'll see the working. What happens? The sound is collected in the outer ear. Okay, so this sound travels through the outer ear to the middle ear through ear canal. Okay, so now sound has entered the ear. This sound gets dashed on the eardrum. Now what happens? Eardrum starts vibrating. What is attached to eardrum? The middle ear. Middle ear consists of three bones: hammer, anvil, and stirrup. Okay, these bones are attached to the eardrum. This also starts vibrating with the eardrum, and now these three bones transmits these vibrations to the inner ear. The inner ear consists of cochlea, and this cochlea converts the sound or the waves into electrical signals, and they have the auditory nerves attached to the cochlea, and these auditory nerves transmit the electrical signals to the brain, and brain interprets these signals, and then we can hear. Okay, I hope you have understood the structure and the function of human ear. It is very, very, very important. Please remember what I have given the process, and also just practice the diagram of structure of human ear, or just remember the labels what are given to it. If you remember the diagram and the labels, the process and structure is very easy to remember. Okay, so now we have learned about the structure also, and how the sound comes into the ear, and how these sounds are converted into the electrical signals, and then we can hear. Okay, in the next video we are going to see about what are echoes, then reverberations, then persistence of hearing, then if someone has problem in the ear, what are the solutions to it, and what is the deafness over here. Okay, thank you children. Please practice again. I'm remembering you again. Please practice that structure of human ear and process of hearing. That is very important. MCQ types questions also, you have to remember the names of the bones in the middle ear. Okay, and function of what the outer ear functions, what are the middle ear functions, and what are the inner ear functions. Okay, thank you.